Hey, Taylor Bagnick, and today I am going to share a video with you all that I made back in December of 2020 when I was 2 months into the real estate business. And it was one of the first videos that I had posted on my Instagram explaining to everyone why I decided to get into real estate and leave my career in broadcast at iHeartRadio. So the video holds up very well. I'm going to allow for it to speak for itself so that you can see what I was talking about when I first started really hasn't changed much to today, now going into my third year. So I'm gonna let you watch it, and then I'm gonna give you a life update from 2 months into the business to now 2 years and 4 months into the business. Told you I would be making weekly videos telling you about my real estate experience and why I decided to get into real estate. So today I am going to tell you my why. So it might seem pretty weird how I went from 3 years of radio, having a broadcast degree, and why would I decide to get into real estate. So this actually stems back to my grandparents, Betty and Eddie, shout out, love you. They have 21 rental properties in the Philadelphia area, and my parents have 2 rental properties. So it was instilled in me from a very young age to invest in real estate. Have your first property by 21 was always the goal. So I just thought it was normal. I thought that that's what people do. You save your money for a down payment on a house, and then you just keep buying houses. Come to find out, as I got older, that isn't that normal, but I always had the bug. I loved the freedom that my grandparents had in their career as landlords and managing properties, and I always found it fascinating. I used to love going with them to showings, and then they would have people sign the lease and doing the security checks and deposits, and I have just always been surrounded by it. So I knew that to some capacity real estate was going to be a part of my life. So whenever me and Chris moved down to Florida, we decided to buy our first property, and it was new construction, which was a totally new experience for me. I know my parents had built 2 houses, but it was the first time that I was getting myself into something like that. And it just made sense for us. It's right by a military base. We knew that we would be able to get enough rent that would cover the mortgage, and it's been doing awesome. We have a property manager down there, and we knew that we were also going to buy up here in Norfolk, Virginia. So this time around we did a fixer-upper. So we immediately moved in, tore the entire place apart, which it's so insane to buy something to completely demolish it. That was scary, but we did it, and we made all of the renovations in about 3 months, which was awesome. And my clients are pulling up right now, so I will get right back to you on the rest of this story. I'm back. So we bought in Norfolk, we renovated the place. We saw that putting in a little bit of sweat equity was going to help us down the line, and we are now in the process of looking for another place to live in, and we will rent this one out. So I decided to get my real estate license. It was $99. So I had figured, even if I don't use it, this is going to be useful information for me to know as a home buyer. I want to know the ins and outs of the home buying process, because if you've ever bought a home before, it's scary. There are a lot of things that you don't even realize and you don't know what to ask because you've never done it before. So decided to get my real estate license. I had talked to our realtor, Kaleo, who we used here in Norfolk, and he was awesome. And he basically said, if you want to get your real estate license, you could even hang your license in referral status, which basically means that you aren't actively helping clients, but if I knew friends and family moving into town and they were like, hey Taylor, we're looking for a real estate agent, every time I refer them to Kaleo, I would get a referral fee, which is 25% of the commission that the real estate agent makes. So not a bad gig. So he said, I have a lot of military wives that have their license, they hang it in referral status, and they're making a good chunk of change every year just by referring people over to us. So I was like, that's great. Let's do it. So, quarantine, had plenty of time to study up, try something new, and I completed my license. And then we had family friends, Steph and Justin, moving into town, and they wanted to use me. So that kind of set a fire under my booty to get it done and for them to be my first clients. And I worked alongside another agent at Keller Williams to get that first house done. Got Steph and Justin into a house all through FaceTime because they were out in California. And from then on out, I just really realized what a great opportunity this was for me and such a great fit. I know that people say it all the time, but if you love what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. And that's truly how I have felt since October 23rd when I started to do real estate. I was doing it part-time, and then on November 13th, I had the opportunity to go full-time with it, and it has been awesome. It's been 2 months so far. I feel like I have learned an insane amount in such a short period of time, and I'm just super excited for everything that's to come. So cool reflecting back and seeing the excitement that I had to get into real estate. It really hasn't faded much. Obviously, I've just continued to learn more and more as I've gotten more comfortable in the industry. I look back at that girl that made that video in December of 2020, and I just want to go back and tell her, like, buckle up. It's going to be crazy, but it's going to turn out just as good as you imagined it to be. So I am so happy that I decided to take the leap of faith and get into real estate. I'm now heading into my 3rd year, and I have been able to help over 131 families since making that video in December 2020. And that is all because of you, the people that are following me, my friends, my family, my past clients. I appreciate everyone's love and support throughout this journey. I feel like I found my calling. This is what I was meant to do, is help people to buy their first properties, build their investment portfolios, and educate them on how they can build generational wealth through real estate. I had mentioned my grandparents and my parents investing in real estate from when I was very young and instilling in me to buy my first property at 21. And as I have gotten older and now in the business, it has just become a lot more apparent to me that not a lot of people had that same mindset or role models growing up with the investment mindset, with teaching them what they should be doing with their money from their 9 to 5. So that was what my grandparents and parents taught me. Have your 9 to 5, but be building this portfolio on the side. And I knew that it was important and that was what I wanted to do because I saw my grandparents and my parents do it, but it became so much more important to me when I unfortunately lost my father in April of 2021. So only a few months into starting my career in real estate. And he had worked for the city of Philadelphia. He had a great job with great benefits and a full pension. And unfortunately, when he passed away, we didn't see any of that when it came to his pension. He had been retired for 1 year and only got to use that pension for 1 single year. All that money that he was supposed to be living off of the rest of his life, poof, gone, not left to us at all. And really the biggest assets that were left to us from my dad was his real estate. The real estate that he had invested in over the years is what was left of his legacy and what he worked so hard for. And 6 months after that, unfortunately, my grandfather passed away. So starting this career, I had never felt so fulfilled in my work life, but in my personal life, it really was a hard year as far as processing all of that loss, especially from the two people in my life that had really inspired me and pushed me to be great. So I show up every day for them, and I know that I need to pave the way for others and be proof of concept that this is achievable. I am 28 years old with 5 properties under my belt. Each one of them, the first one that I ever bought, I was only making $30,000 a year, and I was able to buy my first property. And if it wasn't for real estate and investing my money in a smart way, I don't know that I would have gotten to number 5, but the earlier that you start and the more that you learn and educate yourself, the faster you can start to build that portfolio. And that is your legacy for not for yourself, your spouse, your siblings, your future children, whoever it is that you work day in and day out for. These things that we are doing now are going to pave the way for others. So that's a huge reason why I started this channel, because I want to show people that this is achievable. You just have to learn and educate yourself to be 1% better each and every day. Wrapping up today's episode, in short, from that girl that you saw in the first video that was 2 months into the business and eager to get started, what I was able to achieve in such a short period of time, I wouldn't have been able to do without the support around me from my team and my friends and family. So I just want to thank you all again. I literally went from making $30,000 a year to 6 figures, which has been life-changing. And from 2 properties in that video to now 5 properties. And I'm continuing to build that portfolio. And I want to help even more people to educate them on buying, selling, and investing in real estate and the importance of it. So if you are looking to learn more, please reach out to me. I am happy to have a free consultation with you or go and grab coffee. I could talk real estate all day long. So thank you so much. Let's continue to build our unreal lives, and I will talk to you soon.